Mahal in Atlantic City. Welcome to day 2 of the 2006 United States Poker Championship.
We're going to take a stab at it. Not giving up.
It's a wide open horse race right now, and even the smallest stacks have life.
So close. How lucky could they get?
But cooler heads know this is a marathon, not a sprint.
I'm going to die if I stretch anymore.
The race to the finish line of the 2006 USPC continues now.
Long fight to the finish. Long fight.
Inside the Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City, this is day 2 of the United States Poker Championship. Hello, everybody. Along with Norman Chad, I'm Lon McCarran. Some big-name poker players did enter this year's United States Poker Championship. Jamie Gold, Greg Raymer, Scott Fishman, and defending champion James Caparuccio, of course. Some have survived, others have not. But we have been introduced to a few fresh faces who are enjoying playing the role of front-runner in a major poker tournament.
Lon, guys you've never heard of are running well here. Star in the making Jordan Morgan from Oklahoma, David Baker from Texas, Eric Bankoff from Pennsylvania. It's a closely bunched field out there, though. Morgan's on top with 92,000 chips, but 21 players are within one double-up of overtaking him. Heck, I could have the chip lead by the end of the day. Just put me in the game, Lon.
Even though the pros have not played much against these chip leaders, they do see a silver lining on that leaderboard.
I was surprised to learn, though, that the chip leader only has about 90,000. So that made me feel really good. The nice thing is the structure allows a lot of play. I have 57, 58 times the big blind right now with no antes. So I'm okay. I mean, I would love to be sitting there with 60, 70,000 right now or more. But as it turns out, that's just not the case, so I'm going to have to work the somewhat short stack today. But it's unfamiliar territory, but it's part of my game I want to develop.
As always, we have 2 featured tables here at the USPC. Mark Safe will be playing at the featured table in the Taj Poker Room. Right now, let's meet a few of the players in the arena.
Jesse Martin, I'm from Northborough, Massachusetts.
Karate Mike Santoro from Galloway, New Jersey. Back for another attempt at winning this thing.
Eli, North Miami.
Yeah, I'm Harry White from Hughesville, Pennsylvania, better known as Whitey.
All right, we will begin day 2 of this U.S. Poker Championship by going out to the featured table at the arena here at the Taj. 79 of the original 261 entrants have been eliminated. The tournament leader right now is Jordan Morgan, the only player over 90,000 chips. The chip leader at this table is that man on the left, Eli Levy. Levy with almost 42,000, just a bit less than half that of our tournament leader, Jordan Morgan.
I got a couple of guys who said they make the final table, and I don't. They want one of my new hats to wear, so.
And that is Blaze Ngolia from Spring Hill, Florida. 10-9 of clubs.
You said you were going to attack my blinds today.
And he is raising it up to 1,100.
Blaze finished 6th in the WPT tournament here in Atlantic City just last month.
Sleep did me good. Sleep did the cards.
One fold and over to Karate Mike Santoro. Actually teaches Taekwondo with King 9 of diamonds.
At Santoro's very first table at this USPC, he was sitting with Ralph Pecorelli and A.K. Barta. That's 3 players from last year's final table at the same table to start this year.
So he does make the call, cost him 950 more chips. Levy gets out of the way. So heads up Ngolia and Santoro.
Make sure it's still here.
And Blaze says he's got to give one last check to his cards before the flop. He'll stay in. The flop is 5, 6, 9, all hearts. Neither one has a heart. Each paired their 9. Santoro leads with his king kicker.
20.
He makes it 2,300 to play.
23 is the bet.
I'm all in.
And Ngolia moves all in.
Ngolia's got a big heart to go all in, but as you mentioned, no heart in his hand.
It would cost Santoro over 14,000.
You want to call?
That's the do you want to call routine.
I think you got it like a heart, something. One heart.
Well, Ngolia's being honest. That's the only heart he's got.
Santoro is a tight, patient player. This would be for more than 1/3 of his chips.
I call.
And a call. And he will put Blaze Ngolia at risk of being knocked out.
Good call.
Ngolia way behind.
Santoro finished 9th in last year's USPC, trying to knock out Ngolia right here.
Santoro with the king kicker with a pair of 9s. Blaze Ngolia with the pair of 9s and the 10 kicker.
as we await.
And now here we go to the turn. Turn card is a jack, no help to Blazing Golia.
King 9.
And Blazing Golia is going to need a 10, and a 10 only, or he is gone.
King one time, Mike. King one
Santoro
time.
getting greedy. It's a 4 of spades on the river. Santoro wins the hand. And in the process, knocks off Blazing Golia.
Later, guys. Good luck to everyone.
Pushed all his chips in the pot, a pair of 9s, and a medium kicker, and Santoro took all of his chips. All right, let's go out to the feature table in the Taj Poker Room. And the leader at this table is Stephen Faraka with 60,000 chips.
No, yeah, I know.
And the short stack is our friend Norman Rodriguez with under 2,000. A lot of people still in this tournament, as you mentioned earlier, Norman, with a lot of chips.
Well, the blinds are still low, so you can just sit back, hang around, take in the camaraderie, the ambience, the collegial atmosphere here in Atlantic City.
The table folds around to Norman Rodriguez from New York. Rodriguez, the short stack at this table, is going to raise it up to 600 with suited ace-9.
Well, my namesake is frustrating me, Lon. He's certainly not storming Norman. He doesn't have that many chips left. With ace-9 suited, Norman Rodriguez should go all in right there. I don't know what he's waiting for.
Chris McCormick folded, and then Ed Jordan in the small blind will call. King Jack and Mark Safe with 10-4.
Which is ugh.
He'll play it for 300 more.
Gets a discount since he's in the big blind.
3 players to the flop. The short stack, Rodriguez leads with a suited ace. And the flop is 9-3-3. Rodriguez pairs his 9. Jordan checked. Mark Safe hates to check. 1,500.
Yeah, with nothing he bets. That's actually more than Rodriguez has. If he calls, he's going to be all in.
Hey, Rodriguez goes all in. And Ed Jordan gets out of the way. So Rodriguez will go up against Mark Safe with Rodriguez at risk.
Safe gets in here at a bargain price.
$13.50.
But, geez, I've got a better hand than Safe, and I don't even have any cards.
All right, so Safe gets a little change back from his 1,500 chip bet. And he'll have a lot of makeup work to do if he wants to knock out Rodriguez.
Come on, I can't get that bad luck. Come on.
Turn card now. It is a queen, no help to Safe.
Safe is going to need a 10 on the river to knock out Rodriguez.
River card is another queen, and Rodriguez will win the hand and double up.
Thank you.
He doesn't have a lot. He's got about 4,500 chips.
And that didn't cost Mark Safe a lot, but 10-4 offsuit. I hope that's not on your resume.
So Rodriguez continues to stick around here at this USPC. A huge story developing on the outer tables involving our defending champ, James Caparuccio. He's all in and at risk with his queens against Ty Bake's unsuited King Jack. Turn is a blank, and Kappa would watch a king hit on the river, and his tournament is over.
Yeah. Guy calls with King Jack, hits a king on the river for 2 pair to my queens. So what are you going to do? All I can ask for. It was perfect. First hand of the day, double up. That's where I'm supposed to be right there. I got my money in as a big favorite, and that's all I can ask for.
Welcome back to the Trump Taj Mahal. Let's go to the arena table. 2 players going to the flop. Eli Levy with pocket 3s against Mike Santoro's ace-10. The flop is ace-10. What a flop for Santoro. A full house.
2,000.
Bingo for Santoro. But Eli's going to lead out.
2,000.
He's all but drawing dead, but he bets 2,000.
Try call.
And Santoro will make the call.
He seemed a little contemplative there, as if he wasn't sure of his prospects here.
All right, the turn card, Santoro in control. Turn card is, another 10. And now it gets better for Santoro with quads.
That would be all the 10s in the deck.
Right.
He checks.
Eli's made a full house and will bet.
5,000 Eli Levy bets, and Santoro goes into the tank.
Santoro now channeling Al Pacino in Godfather 3. He just seems tormented. Look at this performance.
It's like, what do I do? What do I do?
Yeah, he's trying to summon up all the mental power to make a decision here.
And he just calls. He'll try to get some more money out of Levy on the river. And now the river card is a jack. Santoro to act first. He checks. Levy checks. Quads are good.
No more money to be made on the river unless he bet and Eli had called him.
So Mike Santoro now making hay. He has almost 68,000 chips.
I think they're applauding his acting.
Let's go out to the poker room. Mark Safe wiping his brow with an ace.
You still do that?
Oh, you must have seen the ace of spades when I did that. Did you see the ace of spades when I did that?
Safe raised it up to 900. Everyone else folded. So the table bending to Mark Safe's will at the moment, and for good reason. Mark has taken the art of reading his opponents to new heights.
We're FBI profilers. We're similar to that. We have to quickly look at a person. We have to look at their mannerisms, what they're doing, how they're betting, figure out who they are, what they're about, what moves they have. If you've been playing poker long enough at the highest levels, you're just waiting, everything's going along smooth, and then you see something wrong. This guy just bet 4 times the pot. Guy just raised from 200 to 18,000. The guy just checked the stone cold nuts on the end. A guy failed to recognize that there's a flush out there and put all his chips in with 2 pair. You're just looking for any sign of weakness. It really is sort of survival of the fittest.
Safe is now a professional TV analyst for the PPT. I think it's quite telling he hasn't asked me for any advice.
Well, Mark Safe, as you heard, is always fishing for information, and right now looks like he's trying to get inside Amnon Filippi's head.
Is he picking on you? Because he's tight too.
I didn't know. He keeps over raising every time he puts some money. He keeps over raising.
Like, what do you mean by over raising? Making it more than
1,200. We're playing 1-200. He's making it 1,200. So I figured I could snap his neck off.
I hope Amnon.
So I figured I could snap his neck off.
I hope Amnon handles it a little better than that. Pinchot folds, and Chris McCormick, though, was going to move all in with pocket tens, just over 2,000 chips.
Let me just find one piece.
Next in line is Ed Jordan. And he folds.
Uh-oh. He might have action.
Now Mark Safe.
Yeah, you got action.
Ace Jack.
How much is it?
It'll be just over 2,000 for Safe to call.
2,050?
2,050.
All right, you got action.
All right, Mark Safe will make the call. Chris McCormick, all in.
You need it.
Chris McCormick was second in that same WPT tournament here in Atlantic City that Blaze Angolia finished 6th in last month.
Let me eat him up by myself. I want to take this guy out right quick. We'll get a new sucker.
And Mark Safe talks Stephen Faraka out of calling.
Did I call him a sucker? I meant great player.
Filippi, modest cards.
I'm peeling back a no spotter. Queen deuce.
I didn't know you were allowed to lobby for other players to fold, but Mark did.
All right, it's a race.
So it'll just be heads up, Safe and McCormick. McCormick with the lead with his pocket tens.
Well, at least you're going to either be chipped up or you got a nice day out to do something.
Nice day out in Atlantic City.
And the flop. 3, Queen, King, McCormick okay so far.
Put up a 3.
Safe got a straight draw.
King, Queen, running King, Queen, Ace, Jack.
3.
Set.
See, Safe's doing some announcing right now.
I wish they'd stick to their own network. An 8 of clubs on the turn, no help to Safe.
Ace, Jack, or 10.
Here comes 7 times.
Safe needs an ace, jack, or 10
We heard that already.
to send McCormick out into the streets of Atlantic City for some frolicking.
You said it better. And it's a 9 on the river. McCormick doubles up and hangs on.
And I know exactly what Safe would say right now if he was in the booth line.
What's that?
He'd say he lost the hand. Hey, I didn't say he was a good analyst.
Well, what a change from last year when Mark Safe had a huge chip lead at this point. Right now, just fighting for his tournament life. Chris McCormick did survive, doubled up to 4,500 chips. Welcome back to the United States Poker Championship. We pick up the action with 3 players in the hand after the flop. Mike Santoro leads with a couple of aces. Dan Mogavero and Eli Levy each flopped a pair of 10s. There is Dan Mogavero, Brooklyn-born, Las Vegas resident.
I'm all in.
And he moves all in. Santoro had bet 2,500.
I call.
Levy called. Mogavero all in.
He did?
We're talking about each other's hands with Eli Levy still in the action, so that's not quite right.
Santoro made the call. Levy folds. And so Santoro with the pocket aces has Mogavero in trouble.
Not really that fond of Mogavero's headwear, but that's for another day.
Karate Mike has been on a nice run today, and here with a chance to knock off Mogavero and collect the rest of his chips.
And then it deuce of clubs.
It's a 5 of diamonds. That pairs of board does nothing for Mogavero.
And Mogavero in danger of going out. In this hand, Mike Santoro had slow played his pocket aces, and he trapped his neighbor. Mogavero now looking for the last 10 in the deck, or he will be whamboozled.
And now the river card. Will it be Mogavero's last? A deuce means yes, it is. Mogavero's eliminated by Mike Santoro with aces up. And Mike Santoro is one of the big stacks in the tournament now with over 88,000.
Little Toto and the Rap Sinatra. I'll be back with the boys singing. Good play, Mike. You did well, man. You got me good. You got me good. I'll go,
And the hits just keep on coming. Local favorite Mike Sika looking for a miracle, but won't find it on this day, and he too is done.
A few of the big players got knocked out yesterday, but that's the way it goes. Every tournament's different. You can't predict what's going to happen. You have to get your cards, and they've got to hold up. Look at this. I went out with a flush. I turned a flush. He had a full house.
On the flip side, David Baker from Katy, Texas continues to impress. He's now over 100,000 chips and is the overall chip leader. Back to the featured table in this poker room, and Faraka continues to lead this table. There's Chris McCormick, recently doubled up Chris McCormick. He's got Queen 9. He limps in. Ed Jordan with Jack 7 offsuit, checks his option. So, a battle of the blinds going to the flop. The flop is Jack Queen. Queen, what a flop! McCormick scores trips. Jordan paired his Jack. McCormick check. Jordan bets 700.
And that 0.1% next to your name never looks good, particularly when you're betting.
McCormick is going to raise it up to 1,500, put a little pressure on Jordan. Jordan not going anywhere. He pressures back, and a re-raise to 5,000 would put McCormick all in.
5,000.
Sure enough, he goes all in.
I think you guys can both have a
And for Jordan to win this hand, Lon, he's going to need running jacks, his best hope. Actually, his only hope, unless there's some type of weird tournament ruling.
Well, they're doing the final bookkeeping here.
But McCormick should have showed his cards already. No reason to keep Jordan hanging.
And he does finally flip his cards. Jordan looking for runner.
You guys can both have a queen.
And now the turn card is an ace. No runner for Jordan. McCormick doubles up again.
Doubled.
Well, there are a couple of small double ups. He doesn't have a whole lot of chips yet.
Still a long way to go for Chris McCormick. He has just about half the stack he started the tournament with. But the pro from Vegas they call C-Mac is headed in the right direction.
Small black, please.
Welcome back to the Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. Mike Santoro is the leader of this featured table in the arena with over 86,000 chips. Our tournament chip leader is David Baker with over 100,000.
I didn't get to hear by Colin with that.
Eli Levy folds over to Harry White.
You look at Harry and he knows there's just a good story there somewhere.
I'm telling my secrets.
If he could just play the cards he's dealt, and he has been card dead lately. Queen 7 for Tom Worthman, and he will fold.
Wake up to a hand real soon.
Action over to Jesse Martin, one of the young, talented players in the game. Ace-King.
He looks a little too clean cut for this crowd.
Play one hand.
Ace-King off suit.
Jesse finished 228th in the 2005 World Series main event.
40,000 in chips.
And he's going to raise it up to 1,125.
No hands. I ain't getting involved.
So that puts a little pressure on Mr. Met there, Antonio Cabeza.
I don't trust anybody in a black Mets cap and a black Mets jersey.
He folds. Now to Brad Lipson.
Come on,
and he moves all in.
Lipson looks a little too clean cut, too, for this group.
9-8 of clubs.
Eight.
Everyone else folds, and Martin will call it.
I might win.
Glad I laid down.
So heads up, Jesse Martin and Brad Lipson.
And Lipson's behind, and trust me, we're doing him a favor if we knock him out of this group right now.
King's 4 club.
Yeah, King's 4 club. I was bored and I was going to limp in with it.
All right, now the flop. Lipson at risk. The flop is 10-8 ace.
Oh, I got outs.
He does have outs. Lipson got bottom pair, but still trails the aces of Jesse Martin.
2 of them to him.
He's got a club flush draw now, might get a backdoor straight draw going. He's got some possibilities to stay alive.
Martin.
Jesse Martin.
Turn.
Ahead on the turn of 4, no help to Libson.
Possibilities have grown shorter.
He's standing up.
8 or 9er club. 8 or 9er club.
Now you heard him. Libson needs an 8, 9, or a club, or he will be released from the arena table.
The river card is a 3 of spades, and that will end this 2006 USPC for Brad Libson. Jesse Martin does the deed, and Jesse Martin now over 36,000 chips.
So quick.
All right, let's move from the arena to update you what's happening in the outer tables. Jennifer Lee with King Queen has moved all in. She's looking to survive the river, and she does, much to the delight of the table.
Guys are just falling over themselves to give you tips.
Really? That would have been really, I would have loved that.
And day 1 chip leader Jordan Morgan is still near the top of the leaderboard. And Jamie Gold is still dominating play at his table.
All in, I call 100%.
Begging for a call.
Whatever, either way, I'd like your chips in there.
He wants Carmine Tyrone to call, but Carmine will not call.
I think you have ace queen or 2 kings.
I think I have ace king. He's right. Or ace jack. That's why he didn't want to
So the
show.
current world champion still looking good here in Atlantic City.
Jamie always seems to create some type of road rage around him.
2 players going to the flop. Caveza with ace queen against Renzi's ace 9. The flop gives Renzi aces up. Caveza just aces.
Do you know what I want to hear from Renzi, Lon?
What's that?
Heidi ho.
Heidi ho, that's right.
Let's hear him go all in. Heidi ho.
Has it made its way to Atlantic City? No. Renzi with 1,000 chip bet.
I wish he would have pushed all in there.
Caveza now with a pair of aces in the flop, but trailing.
He's got to like his hand, though. Aces with a good kicker.
He's reaching for the orange chips worth 1,000 each, a raise to 3,000.
Now Renzi wants to go Heidi ho.
It's 2,000 to call.
It doesn't sound like a Heidi ho precursor. Renzi with aces up.
I raise.
Is going to raise it.
Raise all in. Heidi ho.
Renzi.
Here's the call.
All right. That's the call. The 2,000.
4,000 on top.
Oh,
jeez.
Just a 4,000 chip raise.
That's not a statement. Heidi ho's a
It's a
statement.
little faster, man. Could have been outside smoking a cigarette already. I'm all in.
Whoa, Caveza says call in.
I call.
Renzi makes the call, and this is our degree all-in moment. Antonio Caveza all in and trailing. As you said, Norman, Caveza thought he was in good shape with a good kicker and top pair, but he's way behind.
How's that flop? You like that flop? It's good.
Caveza not handling the circumstances real well.
Some justice.
Turn card is a 7. Renzi still best.
Well, justice would be if Caveza gets knocked out, gets rid of the earring and the Mets garb, and then shaves earring and the Mets garb, and then shaves before we see him again. He's gonna need a queen, or he is out of here.
River card is a deuce. Renzi wins the hand, knocks off Caveza.
Oh, Caveza had a post-game cigarette ready to go.
Well, the stubbornness of Antonio Caveza cost him all of his chips, and he ships everything over to John Renzi, who is now approaching 33,000 chips as the knockouts continue here in Atlantic City.
Things didn't go too good today.
Yeah, I ran into a really big hand at the wrong time.
He had queen, side ace, king, typical race. And I missed, and that's basically it. That's all she wrote.
Got knocked out on the river on two hands.
Not trying to, survive another hour, trying to win the tournament.
I learned that you can't let them push you around.
I'm not going to, outplay the whole field. I got to have some things go my way if I'm going to win.
It's more fun to play than it is to get on the road right now.
Going home.
I'm so happy. I never imagined I could have a chance to come to America and take a $10,000 buy-in. I'm so happy about it, even though I'm lost. Thank you.
The Degree All-In Moment is brought to you by Degree. Protects men who take risks.
Action continues now at the 2006 United States Poker Championship. Lon McCarron along with Norman Chad. We get back to the feature table in the Taj Mahal Arena. Mike Santoro still the chip leader at this table.
We got it all in on a turn.
Santoro with Jack 5. Karate Mike will fold.
Raise.
Eli Levy says, I'm going to raise it.
16, man.
He makes it 1,600 with a suited ace-king.
There's nothing you can do.
Now Harry White.
I'll tell you, there's a good story behind him, behind his hat, behind his cigar, behind his beard. I'm going to find it out.
He wants to play the ace. He has been card dead. Any ace looks good to him, but he folds. And pocket tens for John Renzi.
Owns a catering business. His nickname is The Butcher.
Came into this hand with about 33,000 chips. And he will make the call of the 1,600 chip raise that came from Levy. Action over to Doug Johnson.
Playing with his few remaining chips.
And he'll make the call with King, Jack of clubs.
Well, we got 3 legitimate hands going to the flop. That's a novelty here at the USPC.
And now the flop is 3, 6, queen, a flush draw for Johnson. Renzi is still best with his pocket tens.
Johnson could have pushed there on a semi-bluff, but he decides he wants to see a free card if possible.
Eli Levy will push the action, make it 1,800 to go.
Well, you know, ace-king suited, it's a great drawing hand, but when you miss the flop in three-way action, it's no longer much of a hand.
Renzi calls with his tens. And now action back to Johnson.
Maybe he'll push here.
He cashed in a World Series event in 1981, finishing second. And makes the call on the draw.
Well, he doesn't have many chips left, but he's going to play it conservatively, see if he can make a hand.
All right, so 3 players still in it to the turn card. Renzi's tens are still best.
Still 3 players, man.
And it is a club on the turn, and Johnson gets paid off, hitting the flush.
I'm all in.
Yeah, all in for his last 5,300.
No real decision here now for Eli Levy. He's got squadoosh.
They go into the muck. For Renzi, does he believe?
You got a flush, huh?
Exactamundo. Johnson looks like he's got his car in the shop, and he's waiting to be overcharged for transmission work.
I can't call. Take it down.
Renzi will fold.
I had the best hand on the flop, I know that.
Best hand on the flop, don't feed the bulldog.
So Doug Johnson picks up some much-needed chips.
You have it, Doug?
That was close. Had a good pair.
My 10's good?
No, 10s weren't good.
No? You had the queen and you were afraid of the flush then.
Another casual poker conversation fraught with lies.
All right, let's move out to the Taj Poker Room at our featured table there. Chris McCormick with 9-8 of diamonds raised it up to 600. He was called by Ed Jordan with King Queen of diamonds. It was raised to 1,250. And McCormick right now deciding whether or not he wants to play with Jordan. And McCormick will make the call. 650 more chips. So Jordan and McCormick will go to the flop. Jordan, of course, with the advantage. The flop is Jack, Deuce, 10. Both players get straight draws. Jordan's is better. 1 diamond in the flop, and McCormick is going to move all in on that draw.
Lon, it will say on my tombstone that I did not go all in on a draw. You know I hate this type of play.
Now McCormick, he's just got about 8,000.
Now, of course, Jordan would have to call this all in on just a draw, but that's different. He can easily afford it. It's about for maybe a quarter of his chips. He's got 2 overcards to the board. Jordan's got his thinking cap on. He might be putting McCormick on a bigger hand than he actually has. But trust me, when you're sitting there without a whole card cam, it's darn tough to figure stuff out.
8,050?
He's got to be figuring also an opportunity to knock off McCormick.
What a move that was.
He almost gave it up.
McCormick was already counting his chips.
You want to call? You need chips, right? Hold on. Can I intervene here? I don't want him to have chips.
This is a friendly group. Generally, other players should refrain from commenting when a player hasn't yet acted. It's inappropriate. That was pretty innocuous.
You want to call, you want chips.
Edmund's got a point. Jordan started the hand with just over 40,000 chips.
I think you probably have some on my outs, but...
Now it's not sounding like a call.
No, it looks like he wants to kick it.
Nah, it's too much. I'll lay it down. Good hand.
He does lay it down. So Chris McCormick will take the pot. A little stunned himself.
I figure maybe you got an ace in there, or aces, or I don't know.
Well, he didn't, and McCormick steals away the pot.
Not quite the right price. We'll see. Good hand.
So Ed Jordan not willing to gamble there, and Chris McCormick will take the pot. All right, let's move from the poker room to the feature table in the Taj Mahal Arena. At the arena table, Mike Santoro continues to lead the way as he chases the overall chip leader, David Baker. The short stack right now is Tom Worthman, who has a lot of work to do, down under 7,000 chips. Action is on Santoro.
Santoro, a tight, aggressive player, loves playing in here in his home casino.
King, queen offsuit. He'll limp in. Eli Levy folded. Harry White gets out of the way.
He never sees anything he's going to play.
Tom Worthman, the suited 10-9.
Boy, I didn't notice we had another clean-cut fella at this table.
Worthman just limps in also. Renzi makes the call with 7-6 offsuit. Jesse Martin folds over to John Vasquez. Ace-3.
He's in the big blind. He checks his option. We'll go to the flop with 4.
Worthman, the short stack, looking to get something going. And now the flop is queen 8 jack. That works. Worthman scores a straight.
Vasquez checks, and now Santoro's got to like his hand. He's got top pair with a good kicker.
And Santoro with those queens bets 1,900.
1,900.
Now to Worthman, who looks pained.
Well, he doesn't have many chips left.
All in.
They go all into the pot.
That was an easy move.
Renzi and Vasquez fold. Santoro calls.
Easy call for Santoro. Didn't cost him many chips.
Yeah, Santoro sees the straight that Worthman hit on the flop.
Worthman in good shape here. Worthman won a bracelet at the World Series in 2005.
So Santoro, if he wants to get healthier, has a lot of makeup work to do.
How ugly is that?
I feel like Jamie Gold watching that flop.
Jamie Gold flopped a lot of straights, it seemed, at the main event.
Turn card is a 9.
Oh, come on now.
Santoro gets them out.
You can put a 10 up there for me. I know it's possible. I've seen it happen once before.
Worthman looks like he's seen it happen once before. A 10 would give Santoro a higher straight and knock Worthman out of the USPC.
River card is a 7, not to be for Karate Mike. Tom Worthman had to sweat it, but he does survive and double up through Santoro. He's now up above 14,000 chips. For Mike Santoro, though, it's just a mere flesh wound. He's still very healthy here at the 2006 USPC.
I get 4 more? All right.
The 2006 United States Poker Championship continues from the Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. Out of the Taj Poker Room at the feature table, Stephen Faraka is our chip leader at this table with over 59,000 chips. Mark Safe already in the hand with King Jack offsuit with a raised 800.
Almost everybody at this table wearing a baseball cap. I mean, can't we see at least one top hat or fedora?
Well, Faraka at least is wearing on with his nickname, the Nuts.
Let's get flop. Let's do some
with King 8 offsuit, he'll make the call. And the whole cards of Norman Rodriguez, Ace 5.
Norman Rodriguez, I like that.
He finally moves all in for you. 4,700 chips into the pot.
Day late and $1 short.
Filippi and Pinchot fold. Now to C-Mac, Chris McCormick. A raise and a re-raise. He moves all in with Ace-King.
Jeez. Yeah. 2 of them in now.
It's about 11.
So Safe folded right away. And Faraka figuring if it's worth a call.
Well, Faraka really doesn't have the type of hand to battle 2 hidey-hos.
Faraka, the chip leader at this table, would have a chance to go against 2 of the shorter stacks, but he folds, so it'll be heads up. Rodriguez and McCormick.
Yeah, my man Norman Rodriguez is all in and in a lot of trouble.
McCormick leads with the Ace-King. Rodriguez dominated. Here's the flop. 6-7 deuce. McCormick still leads with the Ace-King.
Rodriguez with backdoor flush possibilities and backdoor straight possibilities.
But still trailing. Turn card now. A 3 of clubs, and Rodriguez loves that card.
That is a massive backdoor. Now for Rodriguez, a 4 for a straight, a 5 for a pair, or any club for a flush. Otherwise, he's out of here.
River card is a club, and Rodriguez hits his flush and steals the pot from McCormick.
Stormin' Norman.
Wow. Chris McCormick gave up half of his meager chip stack to Norman Rodriguez. And Rodriguez now approaching 11,000. Still much work to do. So while McCormick and Rodriguez try to keep their hopes alive, let's much work to do. So while McCormick and Rodriguez try to keep their hopes alive, let's move inside of the Taj Arena featured table, where Mike Santoro is the chip leader. And action on Doug Johnson with Queen 10 offsuit. He makes the call. Pocket kings for Santoro.
Raise.
He says raise it up.
Santoro is mostly a stud player in cash games here in Atlantic City. He says he doesn't like playing no-limit hold'em cash games against tourists who play 6-3 offsuit.
What's wrong with 6-3?
You're one of those tourists.
I thought I recognized him. A 1,500 chip raise from Santoro. Levy folds. Let's see if Harry White has some cards to play. Nope.
What were the odds of that?
Tom Worthman now with a king. He has pocket kings.
Well, this would be a good time to remind viewers there are only 4 kings in the deck.
Wow. Worthman looks a bit stunned.
Raise.
He's going to raise it up.
Raise.
I once had pocket kings against Osama bin Laden's pocket kings in a home game in Southern Maryland.
No kidding.
We chopped the pot.
Worthman still deciding how much to re-raise. And he spreads out 5,400 chips. And that gets rid of Renzi.
$400.
And Martin. A raise and a re-raise now back to Jordan.
All in.
Jordan folds and Santoro moves all in. He has Worthman covered.
Call.
Worthman makes the call. And kings versus kings.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on, give somebody a flush.
Well, that's unfair.
Well, we're looking at a split pot unless an unlikely flush is made.
I'm sorry. No spades? I'm rooting for one.
So it'll be spades, diamonds versus hearts, clubs, and 2 spades in the flop for Worthman.
So Worthman's safe. He can't get knocked out.
Club.
But with runner, spade, he can scoop this pot from Santoro.
9 of diamonds means it will be a chop pot. And just for grins, they want to see the river card. River card has a 10, and they make straights.
I can see that coming from a mile away.
Well, go back to Johnson. He had a queen. He would have had the queen eye straight and won it.
Did we make any money there at all?
400 apiece.
400 apiece. All right.
So Karate Mike missed out on a bid to tighten his grip on this table in the arena. His fiery approach to poker, though, fits perfectly with his life away from the table.
Yeah, shake hands. Good job.
I got involved in the martial arts when I was 13 years old. My goal was to be a top competitor someday.
Boom, house key in place. And go.
Started teaching for my instructor when I was 15. I had the key to the school when I was a brown belt.
Just like in poker, Mike quickly climbed the Taekwondo ladder, earning national and international recognition while still a teenager.
I've won a couple of world championships in the International Martial Arts Association. I have over 350 trophies and awards from local, state, and national competitions.
Trophies and honors aside, Karate Mike recognizes his biggest rewards in the sport of Taekwondo come from the students he teaches.
My great accomplishment really shows more in my students, I think, than myself. You know, as long as they do well, as long as they are proficient, as long as they can defend themselves, as long as they shine in the tournament ranks, that's my accomplishment.
And the disciplines of Taekwondo have also served Mike well at the poker table, channeling his aggression towards the ultimate goal.
I'm a competitor by nature, so, you know, when I see chips in front of somebody, I just think I got to get them.
Santoro well positioned to make a run at a second straight USPC final table.
Call. Imagine that.
And Mike Santoro with a suited ace will call the raise. A raise of 1,400 from John Vasquez.
Santoro can't get out of a hand today. Harry can't find one.
King 10 suited.
Look how he depleted my
Thinking about
stack
it.
when you were going. You see that?
Why do they show this stuff? Just to show the big hands I'm laying down.
You know, maybe he's waiting for pocket quads.
Get in there.
Action over 2. John Renzi with King Jack of hearts.
King 10 suited said see ya. King Jack suited wants to splash around.
He's in the small blind. It cost him 1,200. So 3 players to the flop. And Santoro with that suited ace has the lead for the moment. And now the flop. Deuce 10-3. Vasquez picks up a pair of 10s. Nothing for the other 2. And Vasquez comes out with a bet of 2,000.
I raise.
After Renzi checks, Santoro says raise.
He's just trying to muscle around the table because he caught no part of that flop.
4,000.
Santoro wanted to raise 4,000. He's a bit short.
500 more.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I threw 45.
Renzi folded. And Vasquez will make the call. So we're heads up going to the turn. Turn card is a 7. That pairs Santoro. And Vasquez moves all in.
Well, Santoro's post-flop raise did not phase Vasquez. He correctly pushes all in with top pair.
Wow.
8,600 chips.
You're all in on the 7 of diamonds?
Santoro's befuddled because the 7 helped him, so he can't figure out how Vasquez can like that card.
There's no straight on the board. There's no flush on the board.
86.
Vasquez has confused Mike Santoro. He'll make the call.
No, he killed me.
9-10?
Yeah, no. I don't even have 10. No, I have no flush draw. I put you on completely missing.
Karate Mike had talked about discipline during that feature we just saw, and then he turns around here and makes a loose call.
But Santoro does have Vasquez covered. Vasquez at risk, but leading.
Put him on completely
Santoro can still knock out Vasquez with an ace or 7 on the river.
I just
The
took
river card is a deuce, and Santoro comes up short. John Vasquez will double up through this table chip leader. Vasquez now with almost 30,000 chips, and that misread by Mike Santoro cost him 14,000 chips. Welcome back to Atlantic City in the 2006 United States Poker Championship. Mike Santoro has taken a couple of minor hits to his stack. He's down to just about 66,000. 3 players still under the 20,000 chip mark. There's John Vasquez, who took that last hand off Santoro, and he can't show the cards now?
Solidified it.
I knew one of you.
Jordan folds over to Santoro. He gives it up, as does Levy. Mr. White, you got anything?
Well, the chances Harry's going to want to play 7-3 off.
Throttle back.
He does give those cards up. And excuses himself. Ace-9 for Tom Worthman. And he limps in.
Calls a 4.
To Renzi.
Renzi limps in on the button with the 7-3 off suit Harry White wouldn't touch.
Action on Mohammed El-Qaradawi in the big blind. No raises in front.
Yeah, that's a flop.
And he'll check his option.
And actually, with a couple of limpers in front of you, a lot of people would have raised from the big blind with that hand.
So 4 players to the flop. Vasquez cards are a mystery. The flop. 3, 7, 9, 2 pair for Renzi, 7s and 3s. And where's White?
Harry's washing his hands, and I doubt Vasquez has 7-3 off suit.
El-Qaradawi and Vasquez check. Worthman now will go for 800. He got a pair of 9s.
I raise.
Raise.
And Renzi's going to raise it up with his 2 pair.
2,500 is the bet.
El-Qaradawi folds. Vasquez folds.
And Worthman looking at top pair, top kicker.
Worthman re-raises.
Raise.
I'm all in.
And Renzi comes back over the top. And this would be for all of Tom Worthman's chips.
Yeah, gut check time right now for Worthman.
Renzi goes all in.
It was 800, then 2,500.
Getting short stacked, Worthman will make the call. And he'll hate to see his top pair, top kicker is second best.
Got the best hand. 2 pair. Board might counterfeit me, though. Bottom 2.
Worthman now knows he overplayed top pair, top kicker.
Slow down, John. He didn't counterfeit you yet.
Well, I hate getting it all in with bottom 2. But I know Randall's the safest dealer in here, so...
Oh, and now Renzi's trying to cozy up to the dealer.
Don't let me down, kid.
Pays to pre-tip him.
It's an 8 on the turn. Renzi's still best with his 2 pair.
Let it jack,
8-9 or ace.
An 8-9 or ace, or Worthman's USPC is over.
And now the river card. It's a 5, and Renzi takes the pot.
Yeah, good luck.
And sends Worthman off.
I hope he survives any psychological scarring from being exposed to these ne'er-do-wells.
So Tom Worthman struggled throughout this tournament, got it all in with top pair, but it comes up short to the 2 pair of John Renzi. So Renzi now over 47,000 chips. Let's move from the arena feature table out to the Taj Poker Room. Stephen Faraka is the chip leader at this table with almost 60,000. He's got ace king.
I like a man who says raise, gets settled in his seat, and then decides how much to raise.
And just slashes out 1,200 chips. Pinchot has not had much to play with, and he'll fold that. Jordan folds over to Mark Safe. Safe with ace queen. And short stack. And all in. The poker announcer's a bit quiet now.
But it's all I got.
Chips do the talking. He doesn't have many.
10,000.
Faraka will call and put Safe at risk.
Oh, you got me. Nice hand.
You know what Mark Safe would say right now if he were in the booth, Lon?
Tell me.
He'd say he's behind. I didn't say he was a great analyst.
Safe is behind, way behind, about a 3-1 underdog to Faraka.
10-5.
And the two-time World Series bracelet winner finished 11th here last year, but he's close to going out.
The flop is 10-5-10. No queen for Safe.
He'd love a queen, but if two pair came on the board, that would also make him happy.
6 is no help.
5-6 queen.
With a 5 or 6, they would chop the pot. With a queen, Safe would win it all. Otherwise, he is gone.
And now here's the river card. It is a king, and Faraka takes the pot and eliminates Mark Safe.
I'd invite him up to the booth, but you'd have to step out, Lon.
So Mark Safe, who made such an impact on this tournament last year, goes out meekly here on day 2. He gives all his chips to Stephen Faraka. So we lost a couple of big names so far today. Mark Safe and defending champion James Caparuccio will watch the tournament action from the sidelines. David Baker is our overall tournament leader at the moment. Join us again as we continue our coverage of the 2006 United States Poker Championship. For Norman Chad, I'm Lon